The zoning for the steel mill, the change in zoning has gone before the planning commission on August 27th, and they've recommended denial. Staff has also put together an analysis and is recommending denial at this time, but we would actually like to ask mayor and council that instead of a vote on the rezoning tonight, we would like to postpone that discussion for a month until the next meeting. The representatives from the steel mill have asked to come in and meet with us, and we are preparing to do that October 3rd, I believe.
Let me make a comment before other council members. We're in the process of moving Georgetown forward, and as we move forward, let's keep in mind that as we rezone, we continue to move forward. Now, I'm in favor of not going backwards because I'm very concerned that in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, from an environmental standpoint, we suffered a lot of pollution, not only from one particular industry, but others surrounding us. But one thing I promised to do when I became mayor was to listen to everyone, regardless of where you came from, what business you were in, or what have you. So I think as a professional courtesy, that I know we have an October 3rd meeting, and I've asked the city administrator along with finance directors and building and planning and other staff members to look at the red rezoning, which we have, and there's nothing in there that limits Liberty from doing what they need to do. Matter of fact, it also increases the value of their property. The question is every time I get a question, everyone wants to know what's going on with Liberty. I have no idea. So I think it's, as a professional courtesy, I'd like to see, if you may, Mr. Brad, I'd like to see this thing postponed until at least we as a city have an opportunity to meet with them on the 3rd and then reconvene in a special meeting on the 10th. But I'm not backing up, not going backwards, but I just think, for my sake, I'd like to know what they have planned, because no one in this room understands what they have planned. It's all rumors, and I like to look a person in the face to let them know exactly what I'm going to do from my standpoint, and I'd like to hear what they want to do.
As a matter of fact, that what has been said, I'm requesting that the action item be postponed so we can have time to discuss the rezoning with Liberty.
We've heard from the steel mill. We heard from the steel mill strongly at the planning commission meeting. The planning commission gave us a 6-to-1 vote to not rezone. It's on the agenda. This is first reading. It's only first reading. We have time for them to come and discuss, and my request would be that the steel mill meet with the entire council in a public forum and to discuss whatever it is. It's not secret. It shouldn't be. I would like to keep the vote on for tonight.
So, I have heard council's concern, everybody, and I respect that. But there's certain aspects of this business that they will not discuss, regardless of who we are and what we want. And so I don't have a problem to delegate council, city attorney, whoever is responsible, to communicate with them, because in my prayer I always emphasize trust. If we can't trust the people who've been elected to serve the city council or serve the city of Georgetown, then who are we? And I know for a fact that businesses like that, they will feel more comfortable talking with the city administrator, the mayor, and the city attorney. They're specific with that. And
I agree with the professional courtesy. I do. I understand that. My issue is, I've had 2 years. They've had the time since the planning commission meeting prior to this meeting to get this meeting scheduled. This is the 11th hour. I believe that there has been multiple opportunities and plenty of time for this October 3rd meeting to have happened as opposed to postponing first reading.
I don't see the rush. If Liberty wants to meet with the mayor and council to find out what their plan is, I don't understand the rush. And we keep going back to this thing about the planning commission. Well, the planning commission in December of 2017 voted not to rezone this property to mixed use. Did the council listen to the planning commission then? So what's the problem here now? I think that we should give Liberty a chance to discuss with council what their plans are. I really don't understand we're rushing into this thing. This is the livelihood of a lot of people here in Georgetown. If they have plans to make upgrades, all right, we're moving friendly. I mean, we're moving forward. We should be business friendly and not wanting to listen to a major corporation like this, to me, is not being business friendly. I don't.
The fair amount of us that sit at this table was at the very first initial meeting we had with reference to any talk about the steel mill doing anything for any length of time. I can honestly say that at that said time, we as a city was not fair to the process of inviting both parties, all parties to the table at one time to have a solid conversation about what it is that the steel mill was going to do, how it was going to do it, when it was going to do it. We missed a lot of opportunities doing that by not bringing the company to the table initially. We played catch up in the middle and was able to come to a common ground between the city and Liberty, which I totally agree with reference to exactly how we got it right and how it's zoned right now. But in the very same breath, we still have to be able to allow the way the economical world talks to each other. We just don't throw down the hammer and say, well, that's it. Or even invite someone to your table and not put out the china so that they can understand that you're serious about what we're doing.
That's been moved and seconded. Any other comments, any other questions? Call for the vote. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, thank you. Let it be shown that the motion's been approved and carried. 5, and those against, 5-2.